Shush.
Shush. Shush. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pokemon Masterclass. Justin's talking to his dog. What's up, Justin?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy to have another podcast. We actually have a lot of really fun stuff to talk about today. But before we get into that, we're going to be talking about VGC again.
Yes.
This is a VGC podcast.
Yes, VGC podcast. Let's go!
Series 11 just got announced, and that's kind of what kicked off today. But before we get into that, what's up, bro? How you been? As you can tell, I'm still a little...
Yeah. I feel fine. I'm glad I'm not in the same room as you. Because, you sound like Beast Boy in that episode of Teen Titans where they're, like, chasing the ghost Slade. And he, like, changes into a different animal every time he sneezes. That's what you sound like right now.
It's terrible. I'm not even sick anymore. I'm just so stuffed up.
Yeah, no, I've been fine. I'm trying to play as much disc golf as I can before the snow flies, and that's kind of my life right now. And then doing this, getting ready for Diamond and Pearl, which we are going to talk about. I have Metroid Dread. I have not started it yet, but I'm excited to.
Heard it's really good.
I know. But what have you been up to, man?
Not a whole lot. The missus is away this week. It was her birthday week, and she's away with her family on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So, shout out to her. Everybody
Yep.
wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, happy vacation.
Time.
Oh.
I've just been chilling with the puppy, playing some Unite. There's been a lot of interesting news to come out, both in actual confirmed news and data mines.
Yes.
We joined up in Spraggle's Discord. We'll have a link in the description.
Yeah, hop into that. If you play Unite and you, it's pretty good one-stop shop for a lot of information and a lot of different like communities and stuff like that. So hop into that Spraggle's Discord.
It is my favorite Unite community by far. Like, it is the place to be. He's got different chat channels for every single class, so attacker, speed, or whatever. He's got chat channels for everything under the sun. There's pets. There's it's just a whole community of just people hanging out and being friendly. So it's pretty awesome.
You'll probably see us spamming vids in there. Not necessarily spamming. Justin's been having some good conversation with people in there as well.
Definitely.
So we're
look us up.
we're trying to
see Justin on Discord.
Yep.
Brandon, I think, is 0BLS. So you definitely look for us in there. We will be in there.
Yeah, we'll be chatting.
Hope to see you in there.
Yeah. Like I said, we're gonna try to be like a little more active part of that community. So one of these days we're gonna make a Discord of our own. We need you guys in it. One of these days.
Right now, the content cowboy he's leading the charge, and he's doing a great job. I really love his content on his channel.
Same.
I love the community that he has on his Discord. I mean, the dude's... Shout out to Jake on Spraggle's channel. Link in the description. If you're not subbed to him already, yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
You, buddy.
So one last thing before we move into some news. We're going to talk about Unite first, but not a lot of visuals today for the podcast. So if you are the type of person who likes to watch what we do on the podcast, today is a good day to maybe boot up some Sword and Shield or some Unite, go play some games while you listen to us chat. I think, for the ease of editing and stuff like that. I got to go. I'm going on my anniversary trip here in like an hour and a half, so I'm not going to do a lot of editing. So...
it's your and your wife's anniversary this weekend.
Yep.
It's actually the day Sora drops for Smash. So
yeah, I told her I was like, hey, I hope you're excited to watch me play Sora on our anniversary. She said she's got meetings at work, so yeah, our anniversary outside of this weekend is going to be pretty lame.
Yeah, you guys get to go away though. That'll be nice.
Yeah. So anyway, man, let's talk about Unite. First on the docket, you want to talk about Sylveon?
Yeah, so obviously we did a video. It's on the channel already. You can go check it out. Link is in the description. But Sylveon got nerfed within, I think, within the first 2 days of her being released.
Yeah.
And it's, to my knowledge, the fastest nerf in MOBA history. We did an entire comparison video. We have our thoughts based on, did she need to get nerfed? Mm-hmm. Did she get nerfed too much? Is it not enough? So definitely go check that out. TLDR, we definitely still think Sylveon is viable.
Yes.
It just changes your playstyle now. You have to really be aware of your positioning way more than you did upon release.
Yep. Spoiler alert. That's going to be our Monday upload because we're trying to upload Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays now. That's our bare minimum. We've never told you guys this on the channel. We've discussed this on our Facebook page. Hop on our Facebook page for up-to-date updates on stuff like that. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's kind of our upload quota. Monday's upload, we're going to be talking all about Sylveon, the nerfs. We're going to give you raw numbers. There's going to be gameplay footage. And we're going to talk about our builds. It's going to be a really fun video, so I hope you guys look forward to it. I will link it in the description when it's out. So if you're catching this like next Tuesday or something like that, then you'll be able to just hop right into that.
And that is a dual video. It's Brandon and myself, multiple, and everybody in the PMC crew. We've been working really hard to play Sylveon with every build possible. We've played in the jungle, lanes, myself, Brandon, Doug. We've compiled a lot of info to make sure that it's our opinion, but it will be out there now.
Yeah,
and it is for as much as we can around family and stuff. It is a pretty decently informed opinion.
Yeah, it is. It is. So look forward to that. Justin, why don't you lead the charge on the rest of the Unite news that we've got going on, and I'll just bounce back and forth with you.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about this. So we have a couple of, basically two categories here. We have confirmed news and rumor news.
Yes.
So confirmed news, it's already out now, but there's been a bunch of data mines over the past 2-3 days. I actually kind of messaged the boys in our private PMC chat earlier this week. I was like, hey, so it's about time we start getting some data mine news, and literally like an hour later, the floodgates started opening. So
his psychic, his third eye opened up when it was like
exactly.
It was he had his spider sense for Unite was tingling, dude.
So what's first? So basically, I want to talk about the stuff that's been officially announced, or it's official news now, which is the Halloween. We get some Halloween Halloware. So there's a Pikachu jack-o'-lantern hat, and it's
awesome. It's S tier. I really hope that we don't have to pay like $20 to get it, because I'm gonna put it on.
It's so good. There's a witch's costume. There is a bunch of different Halloween. There's a firefighter suit out now. There's a firefighter Blastoise, which is out now. There's some spooky Halloween music.
Oh, it's super spoopy.
Lots of cool stuff coming out, or is already out as of time of this recording on the 15th. But all this month of October, it seems like the floodgates just opened this week, and it's just all going to flood out from now till, Halloween.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for all the confirmed stuff. So the rumor mill has just been a churning this week. It's been working hard. Kind of a long list, but basically the top news of the day, there were 3 brand new. So we've already covered all the old data mines that have already been out. And those rumors are still going around, but it's no new news. So like every once in a while, a Toxicroak will pop back up, but it's still the same data mine from back when him and Nidoking were data mined originally.
Yep.
The data mine this week, the 3 brand new ones that we have not been officially data mined and were this week in the source code was Decidueye, Nickit, and Thievul, as well as Caterpie. So no Metapod, no Butterfree in this particular leak. Their names weren't on the thing, but doesn't mean they can't come in. So they were all listed as mobs. Now, we've covered this a little bit, but basically every Pokemon that is playable and has been data mined at one point or another had their code listed as a mob.
Okay.
Originally.
Okay.
And the speculation is because that's probably how they test a Pokemon originally. They just put it in just to test out, does it move properly or whatever. They'll just put it in as a mob, and then eventually it'll go up to a playable of the actual game design. That's basically how it works, right?
Yeah.
So when Sylveon was data mined originally way back when, it was a mob, but now obviously we know Sylveon is a playable character. So personally, myself, Brandon, nobody at the PMC crew thinks for 1 millisecond that Decidueye is going to come out as a jungle camp or as a
No.
wild Pokemon.
No.
He's way too popular. It's like Greninja.
He's too cool, dude. He's too
He's
awesome.
too popular. He's too much of a staple in Pokemon nowadays. He's the most popular starter from 7th gen. Like, he has to be. If he gets in, which, so far these days have been accurate, Greedent is still popping his head up everywhere in data mines, but it's still the same.
I feel like we've talked about Greedent. Like, every time we talk about Pokemon Unite, we're like, hey guys, Greedent's gonna come out sometime soon, and he just still hasn't shown
He's a vendor. We have his moves. Like, he has Belly Drum and Stuffed Cheeks and Tackle. Like, we know it's been the same data mine that Sylveon came out, and the Sylveon turned out to be pretty much spot on accurate in terms of what the moves were called, what class she was, and whatever. So, assuming that is all the exact same source and everything was right for that, which now it is, we assume that the Greedent is correct too. So we know that based on that it'll be a defender. Coming out presumably next? Not sure. But yeah, the Thievul and the Caterpie were, as of right now, mobs. Brandon mentioned that he would love to have Thievul playable, especially with the ability Stakeout, right?
Yes, that would be really cool. I don't know if they'll make him playable, but having the ability to if you jump out of a bush, maybe you get increased damage in the bush or coming out of the bush. It'd be cool to see that. It'd be cool to see Pursuit, maybe Parting Shot. Something along that line.
That'd be great. Parting Shot would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's what I'm hoping for, but I don't know if it'll happen, but I want it to happen. We need more playable Pokemon, so
definitely
just make them playable.
So that's the Pokemon that got data mined so far. Those are the big ones there. There was an item data mined. Teeds put up a video on her channel, Super Teeds, link in the description. She's amazing. Definitely follow her. We really love her content. Mm-hmm. She puts out great videos.
Yep.
And she put out a video of this new item that is, according to the data mine, called the Controller. And according to the rumors, this is going to be a ward, a site ward. So for people that play traditional MOBAs, you know exactly what this is. For people that don't, basically, when you play Unite, you know that if somebody's in a bush, they can. How do you know that they're in there until you actually walk in the bush too? Well, a site ward is, in League of Legends or Dota, is something that you can place down and it'll stay for a minute or however long the duration, depending on the game. It'll give it's like a little lantern. So now your team can see what's in that bush, even if your characters move outside of it. It'll just stay there on the map. And it's invisible to opponents. Yep. They can't see that a ward is there. Well, now they can in League. But regardless, maybe they can, maybe they can't, depend on the game. But so that's essentially a site ward coming into Pokemon Unite. How would you feel if that got in?
I would love to see that. We talked a little bit off camera. We're not gonna dive into this whole. We could talk for hours about things that we want to see in Unite, which we did on a podcast before. But yeah, I think this game, now we're getting to that point. I've played 600 games, and I would love to see some more fun new mechanics. I'd love to see a few things reworked. But yeah, a site ward, that would be really, really cool to be able to see opponents in bushes. We need more fun and unique mechanics and items and things like that in this game to keep it from getting stale. But so I think that'd be cool. I would love that. I would really, really love that.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much it for the Unite. There were a couple other things, there's some rumor mill going around that we're going to get some new maps or some new modes, but it's not. We don't have any official text or data yet that I've seen. As of this podcast, today's October 15th. We've seen the data mine. We've seen the actual game coding that says this high. We've seen the game coding that says Crota, Gunk, and Nidoking. When we talk about data mines that we're talking about here. But when we say rumors, this is just somebody just typed it out on a tweet and hey, I heard we're getting some new game modes soon or getting some new maps soon. I'm like,
which would be cool.
Right, which would be awesome. It's just there's no proof yet. It's just a rumor. So there are some more rumors going around, but in terms of all the data mine, that's pretty much all we have for today. So we are really excited. Unite is really starting to ramp up now, especially into the holiday seasons. Like, for instance, there's been a rumor that one, if not some, or all three of the starters from 4th gen, so Chimchar, Piplup, and Tortuga, or Turtwig, thank you, could be playable characters because Diamond and Pearl remakes are a month away. So to kind of celebrate that, Unite would be there. But again, no data mine info. Obviously, I would be over the moon. You're going to hear it from us first if Infinite gets any sort of official, credible reason to believe that he's coming. You'll hear it from us.
I'll be on the Empoleon train, man. I'll be surfing my way into chat rooms to talk about Empoleon, and I'll be surfing into battle like I do with Blastoise.
Absolutely. So that's pretty much going to cut it for Unite. News / rumor mill today. It's been a really fun week in the Unite community. There's just been so much happening, and I'm really excited to see what the rest of October brings for us.
Same. Okay, so the next thing we got to talk about in news is really good news for those of you who haven't finished your Pokedex, and if you really love dogs with swords and shields, then boy howdy do we have the news for you. Justin, you want to fill them in?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. So we already knew about this in Japan.
Yep.
They had this release, but now we have the official announcement for the event in the United States. So the Shiny Zamazenta, Shiny Zacian. So again, I have Sword, Brandon has Shield. So obviously I have a Zacian, he has a Zamazenta.
Yeah,
it's
unfortunately for me.
It's no problem for us to build teams because obviously we're partners and friends and we can just trade back and forth, make a code, do whatever. It's no problem. We can use them. But now we're going to be able to just have one of each in game without having to do that. It's just easier and nice. And they're shiny, which is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really awesome. Like Brandon's alluded to, in terms of competitive, he would rather have Zacian. Now he's going to be able to have a Zacian.
Yeah.
Big boy on campus. So basically what you have to do is you have to take your game into a local GameStop anywhere in the continental U.S. I'm not sure about Hawaii or Alaska. Sorry, it's not
no
info on that here, but
sorry, you guys are just gonna have to settle for the most beautiful state on earth.
You're gonna have to travel or just stay there, whatever. But basically, what you do is if you have Shield, there's 2 different events going on. Basically, so if you have both, there's 2 different time windows. But for any Pokemon fan that has Shield and you're trying to get Zacian, you go into a GameStop from October 22nd until November 11th.
I'm writing this down right now because I am going to GameStop and I am getting the broken dog.
And if you're curious, today is October 15th, Friday, October 15th. A week from today, next Friday, is the 22nd. So that's when this starts. 1 week from today from recording this podcast is when these Shield Shiny Zacian starts.
Yes.
And it will last for basically 3 weeks. Because that third Friday after that is then the 12th of November. So it goes up to the Thursday before. Is the 11th. The 12th of November all the way to the 27th of November. So basically the rest of that month will be for people like me who have Sword. Go and get our shiny pink Zamazenta from GameStop. So it's really interesting. Really glad that we can finally get our dogs just to be able to make it easier. Our Pokedex is already filled, but it's really cool to be able to get our dogs, and I'm excited to have it. It's nice that we finally have our window to go get our event pokes.
Yeah, man. Let's make some Uber teams, man. Let's go. Let's play Ubers.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. We're going to talk about the next thing.
Diamond and Pearl Remake.
Diamond and Pearl Remakes. So we have actually had some stuff for Diamond and Pearl Remakes as well. I don't know if this is the official terminology. A lot of content creators and a lot of video game review entities were able to get a hands-off preview of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and there was a lot of gameplay footage. What he means is
somebody was playing it and they were watching them. They were watching a stream, so nobody got to play the game.
Yeah,
even though a couple of sources were kind of putting it out as like a full-fledged review. And then
Yeah,
others were
like
putting it out as
yeah,
preview.
like IGN like did a whole like review, which I thought like after I learned, because I was like, oh cool, they got the game. How come Pokemon Masterclass
That's what
first
I
of all?
thought too.
How come Pokemon Masterclass has been left out of the review copy cycle? First of all, but yeah, after I learned that they didn't even play the game, I was like, why did IGN put out a review of this game? They're talking about how it feels nostalgic and stuff like that, and then they're not even like playing the game. Like, what do you mean
Yeah,
it feels nostalgic?
you
You're
haven't
not.
felt anything.
Yeah, you're a cold, heartless machine. You haven't felt anything. But
Exactly.
yeah. So players and media outlets like that were able to get their hands on this. It's a hands off look at the game firsthand, and there was a lot of talks about. They showed off a lot of the quality of life changes, a lot of the.
I did.
That was like the big thing. A couple new features and stuff like that.
Yeah, you want to mention some of the new features?
Yes.
So it's actually really, really exciting. There, a lot of the stuff that they said, like you said, was quality of life stuff that if you've been playing Pokemon since 5th gen or forward, so 5th, 6th, or 7th, or 8th gen, a lot of the info, probably 60, 70% of the info is just stuff that you'll be like, oh yeah, but that's just normal for Pokemon nowadays compared to when 4th gen was out back then originally.
Yeah.
Like the EXP share worked different in 4th gen than it does now. The Diamond Pearl remakes will have current EXP share.
Yeah, which
I don't need to dive into that. If you know what it works like,
if you've played Sword and Shield, then you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Exactly, stuff like that.
It didn't work that way back in my day. Experience share didn't work like that.
Day.
It didn't work like that. So obviously he mentioned experience share.
Speaking of back in our day, I want to talk. So this is the super interesting thing. Pokemon fans, of newer generations might not realize, but we used to only have parties of 5 Pokemon because your 6 slot was reserved for
your HM Mule.
There you go. So you want to dive into this one? For me, this was the most exciting news so far.
Yeah. So this one, I'm fine with this one. I'm not fine with some of the other things, and we'll get into that after we talk about them.
So first up is the new mechanic called the Poketch. It's basically like the little Poke Watch that was in this corner of the screen.
Yeah, you load your TMs or your HMs, like basically kind of the mechanics of those get loaded into this, and then you can walk up to a tree that needs to be cut down. Before you'd have to walk up to it and you'd ask if you would want to cut it, or you'd have to go to your Pokemon and select cut and whatever.
Yeah, you'd have to go to your Bidoof and click the guy.
Yeah.
And then click the cut option.
Same thing with Surf, Rock Climb, Rock Smash, Strength. You don't have to do that Fly. You don't have to do that now. You can just press A, and then you will cut that branch down if you have cut in your repertoire for the Pokecatch. Same thing with Surf, Rock Smash, Rock Climb, and Strength these days. Once
you learn the HM, it's just there. You just walk up to it, click A, and you keep going on your journey. So
that's
really
fine. Cool. That's fine. Yep.
It's an interesting mechanic, and it feels like we talked about, just a really quality of life change.
Yeah.
That we've come to understand with newer Pokemon generations, and I personally liked it. I like the idea that
I like it too.
I can have my Pokemon where whatever I want in my team, and I don't have to have that guy that's just got Strength, Cut, Rock Smash, and and whatever.
So another thing, another little quality of life change, you can get to your PC from anywhere. You can swap Pokemon out at any time. So I don't like that one. I don't like that one. Okay? No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
I'm thumbs up. Bring it a thumbs down.
I'm gonna be the salty Gen 1er for
You're gonna be the grumpy old man here?
For a lot of this.
Back in my day.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Because this is one I wanted to talk about. Because
it takes the challenge out of it.
Yes, because remember, part of the playthrough of Sword and Shield was very forgettable and very easy. And I don't want that to happen with this game, and I'm afraid it's going to happen with this game. I don't remember when you would play Ruby and Sapphire. Part of the challenge of the game was, remember, you'd have to go to a cave, get swarmed by Zubats with your set party of 6, and you'd have to solve the puzzles in the cave, blah, 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 blah.
While also getting bombarded by AA Rons and Whismur and Zubat. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, and it's that challenge is just
Gone.
gone. Like there's no challenge to the playthrough, and it's sad to me.
Zero.
It's sad to me
Zero.
because I like the playthrough. You know what I mean? I like the playthrough. I mean, I love competitive, but I want the playthrough to be. I would love to spend 20 to 30 hours on the playthrough, and I feel like that's like never.
This is what I think we're good. I agree with you. I don't think that Diamond and Pearl is going to give that to you. I agree. So I don't think it's going to give to us, but I think Arceus is.
I hope so. I had high hopes that BDSP would be very old school kind of feeling. You know what I mean? Because it looks old school. The style is old school.
It's a faithful. What did they say? Faithful recreation.
Yeah,
and
yes.
Most of the info we got yesterday was not so faithful.
Yeah,
it's faithful to nowadays Pokemon.
Yes,
but it's not. Technically, it's not.
Yeah,
like
I want to be
information. More than half of the information presented was just, hey, guess what? Quality of life changed from when that was in 4th gen to now.
Yeah,
it doesn't work like it used.
Like I said, I'm gonna sound like an old Pokemon dude here, but I don't. It's not fun and challenging if when my team of 5, if I'm in the middle of a cave and all my Pokemon are like low on HP and I just go grab a whole new team from the box. It's like, why do I have potions? Why do I have revives? Like you're kind of like making those things irrelevant. But that's kind of what I really wanted to hammer that point out because I'm old and grumpy.
Well, and I agree because there is a curve. Like for us personally, we've talked about this. We went on a hiatus for 7th gen. We did not play it. I mean, I tried. I don't know if you did.
I didn't finish it. Yeah, I got to like the 4th totem or something.
I did not. Exactly what Brandon just said is how I feel about 7th gen games. Now, if you love 7th gen, if you love Alola region, if you love, I'm not knocking.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not knocking what you like, but for us personally, like going through Hoenn, going through remember when we played Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Mm-hmm.
That was a legit RPG. Like, that was a journey we had to go on. That was a game we had to play through.
Yeah.
It didn't just play itself. You don't just walk. It's not like you're playing Candyland where you just walk through the path and eventually you'll get to the Elite Four and boom, you're done.
Yeah. It's like when I would play 1st gen, when it's like, okay, it's time to go to Silphco and go fight Giovanni for the first time, or like go through Team Rocket's like headquarters, like you were like, oh boy, like here we go. Like
there was legit challenges. There were real puzzles that hard, and that's one of the things like especially with Pokemon Unite, when you look at the statistics so far, when you look at, I think it was like 60% of Pokemon Unite players were playing just because they're fans of Pokemon in general.
Yeah.
And then you look at the age demographic of people playing Pokemon Unite, especially in terms of the people who are either making content on YouTube or interacting with that content. Like when you look at our analytics, the average age is between 24 and 30.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of Pokemon fans who are not children. That's kind of the TLDR of what the statistics are telling us.
Yep.
Is it meant for everybody and supposed to be meant for everybody, young, old, male, female? Yes. But the reality of the situation is this game is hugely nostalgia driven.
Yeah.
This channel, us two, our friendship, we are friends because of Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know, like we met in 2nd grade, we started talking because of Pokemon cards.
Yeah,
like that's literally, and this entire world like conglomeration, it's like the biggest video game series ever.
Yeah.
And it started with our generation when we were kids. And those kids are now adults, and we still love it. And they, in terms of like the game developers at Game Freak, Pokemon Company, need to understand that this is not a children's game.
Yeah, pander to me. I'm old and I've played your games for a long time.
Well, and that's what they did with Sword and Shield, because they for competitive players.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm personally hopeful because Game Freak was not working on Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah.
They were working on Arceus.
Yeah.
And based on what they gave us, it's not perfect, but based on what all the insanely awesome, positive quality life changes for competitive they did for 8th gen, that's why I think Diamond and Pearl is going to be probably a little bit closer to Sun and Moon and Alola in terms of maybe not
Like,
the most difficult.
yeah, which
But
is
then
unfortunate.
Arceus is going to be that next step.
I hope so.
Because it's going to be like a Monster World pseudo open world RPG in a brand new region, and it looks beautiful. It looks great,
yeah.
and I'm really, really hopeful for it.
Yep. So we kind of went off on a tangent there. We've only got a couple minutes till the break. There are a couple other features that we wanted to talk about. We'll just kind of skim over. The Underground, they got this new system where you like place statues in your room, and that will help spawn Pokemon of certain types and certain strengths. Yep. So like if you've got a bunch of electric statues, if electric type statues take up the most space in your room, the Underground will spawn electric type Pokemon more frequently. And they've all got designated
in the underground
sizes.
In this underground basement thing, it's brand new.
Mm-hmm.
This underground will have overworld spawn Pokemon. So you walk up and you'll just see a Pikachu standing there, and you go touch it, just kind of like the overworld spawns in Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
In the rest of the game, there's no overworld spawns. It's all old school wild encounters.
Which I'm fine with. Like, I'm glad to have that back. Competitions are back, but they're completely reworked. It sounds like they're going to be rhythm-based games now, which is awesome for me because I play the drums. So I'm going to be the competition champion of the group. I'm calling it now.
But because competitions, what he's talking about is the Pokemon contests.
Oh, yeah. I said competitions. Contests.
All right. Brandon has never sat down and fully played through Hoenn ever.
No.
He didn't play through 3rd gen, and he didn't play through ORAS. He will eventually. He'll play through Hoenn eventually.
Yeah, if my kid didn't have the save file on Omega Ruby, I would play it.
Definitely. But 3rd gen is when contests were introduced. I personally loved contests back then. It was a lot of fun. It was different. There was ribbons, and like it was cool to see in the show. Back then when we were kids, like to watch, Ash was going through the gyms and May was going through the contests, and being able to see May's, because they had like, gym battle equivalents in like the contest part. So you like, okay, well this is May's episode, and it was a different type of battle where it was like, it was just cool. It was just a cool different spin.
Yeah.
And now they're giving it this really cool kind of Guitar Hero, Garage Band kind of feel, and I'm just super excited about it. Basically your Pokemon are going to be, it'll go across the screen. Like if you ever played Dance Dance Revolution, and you hit the buttons, and you hit the A, or it goes across the screen. That's essentially how it's going to go. It doesn't look incredibly complicated, but it does look super fun. The thing that makes me hyped is it was confirmed yesterday up to 4 people can play on contests. Super fun. Great.
Yep.
10 out of 10.
Yep. I think that about covers it. I think the last thing I want to mention is that I'm excited to put stickers on my balls. Put stickers on my Pokeballs. How about you? I gotta
have those stickers. Those are pretty cool. Those are really cool. It's a nice feature.
Yeah. All right, so we're up on the break. We're gonna come back, you guys. We're gonna talk about VGC for the rest of the day.
We're taking it back. We're going into Series 11.
Yep, Series 11 is coming back. We're going to give you guys the rule set. We're going to give you our thoughts on the rule set, and we're going to give you our thoughts on the future of VGC after the break. All right, guys. Welcome back to class. Class is officially... It is in session. We got the announcement that Series 11 is here. I will say that Series 11, I guess I'll just give you the rules first. So Series 11, we are going back to Series 8. So you get 1 restricted Pokemon, and Dynamax is back. So the exact same format. We had
Series 10.
8. Yep.
It's the same as Series 10. It's just Dynamax is turned back on.
Yeah, exactly. So that starts November 1st, right? November 1st?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So that announcement got me to thinking about a lot of things VGC related, and specifically the future of VGC in Gen 8 and onward.
Yeah.
And I was going to put out a video just kind of talking about my feelings, but I was like, you know what? I should get Justin in on this because he plays VGC too. So I had a lot of strong thoughts about the regurgitated format, and I also had thoughts about what it's going to look like in the future. So Justin, let's get the ball rolling. I want your thoughts on them reusing formats. I would love to hear your thoughts.
I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for the game, but it's definitely not the most creative decision when there's other types of formats that we could have in VGC generation
which
8.
we'll get into. We're going to get into alternatives to this.
We have not. There are certain types of formats that they could do, but haven't done yet once. So to have them going back now, this is the second time they've regurgitated a series.
Yes.
In 6 months.
Yeah.
So, and I'm still sitting here looking over at my Zarude, like, when am I going to play with my Mythical?
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I don't hate it. I like Series 11 infinitely better than I do Series 10 in terms of a rule set. I had a bunch of fun on Series 8. You guys can follow my us on the channel here. We have a bunch of videos of our Series 8 teams.
We've got a whole playlist, I think, of Series 8 content. So
exactly, you saw me get to Master Ball with the Dialga team.
Yep.
We still have just folders and folders and folders of team comps saved on our showdown. So we're ready to go for Series 11.
For content creation, yeah, like anything we missed out on doing back then, it's going to be cool that we can go back and do it again. Like we wanted to do a Palkia Rain team that just never got finished.
Which we had, just didn't get finished in game and then get the recording up yet. We had the team. It went through all the practice stuff that, like, we have a regiment that we do before we'll put a team on the YouTube.
Yeah.
And it went through the ringer, and we tweaked it and changed it and all type of stuff, but it got to a point where it was like, all right, this is ready to go. But then the meta changed, and we couldn't use it anymore.
And then
so now we're going to be able to visit that again, and that's cool.
There's other Pokemon that we like never even touched that I think would be really fun. Like we never touched Giratina. Like it'd be really cool to make a Giratina team. That kind of stuff is what excites me about Series 11, especially from a content creation standpoint. We're going to be getting a lot more VGC on the channel, I believe, once this series starts. Like we said, we've already got teams. We might put rental codes out. We'll see. But as far as regurgitating the series, this is where I had like the most feelings. Was when it came. What's that?
Right there.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're having a little transformer sounds coming through.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
It's okay.
All right. Okay. Yeah, you went freeze frame for a second, but we're good. Yeah.
Last thing I heard you say was about Giratina. Sorry, brother.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying now that the fact that they've regurgitated Series 8, I don't love it. I really don't love them regurgitating series when there's so many different things they could have done, which, again, we will talk about in a few minutes. I don't love... This feels to me like the laziest regurgitation that they could have taken. The Pokemon is a game of variety, and to regurgitate the same series that we had, it just felt like a step backwards. Like, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like a step backwards? Yeah. We could...
It does, because it truly does. Like, when they went from Series 7... to 8, I was okay. Brandon, that wasn't personally his favorite flavor. And then when they went from 8 to 9, which essentially back to 7, Brandon was super right.
Yeah.
But in this in that case, obviously everybody's got personal bias just because Brandon loves Series 9. That's it. And in Series 7, I didn't love it as much as he did. But then when Series 9 came around, Fully agree. Series 9 is my favorite
It's been
format so
it's
far.
been the best series in my opinion, of all of them.
Absolutely agree. We've had so much fun, such creative, awesome, fun, off the wall, like off meta teams, and it's getting us into Ultra or Master Ball from it. We're getting up to 1,400 on Showdown ladders with like a Septile team or something. And
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
like, this is what I came for.
exactly.
So really love the options that a Dynamax format without Ubers gives us.
Yeah. So that kind of brings me to the next point. I think we've kind of hammered down the fact that we don't love regurgitated series.
But I want to ask you, because I agree. The regurgitation now, I'm just like, let's go through every possible option
Yes.
and then start to recycle and regurgitate. But okay, so that conversation aside, we have basically taken a hiatus from VGC because we don't like Series 10. We haven't been playing VGC. We haven't been uploading content to the channel because we haven't been playing VGC. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
Our private PMC chat has been blowing up for a week about this, and we are all thrilled to play some VGC again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sort of leading the question, and obviously audiences can tell where this is going to go, but regurgitation, recycling of them aside, we are happy that Series 11 has the rule set that it does, because it is at least a format that we want to play.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
Even if it's not the preferred format, even if it's not the format we'd like to see right now for 11, it is at least better than 10.
Yeah, and it'll be nice to have Dynamax back for those less than OP mons. So what are your thoughts on having Dynamax back?
I'm thrilled. For me, that's my biggest complaint about Series 10 is the fact that there's no Dynamax. Like, especially before, when we didn't know when the home update would come for Diamond Pro Remakes or Arceus, we weren't sure. Is Series 10 the last series before the new Pokedex opens up with the new Mons? We had no idea. Now we know that probably Series 11 is the last one before the National Dex opens. But the fact of the matter is, Dynamax is the thing in this generation, and I personally like this generation's gimmick.
Yeah.
I might have felt a certain way about gimmicks in the past. Megas or the Ultra Beasts or the
Z moves.
The Z moves. Weird stuff like that over the years, in my personal opinion. Dynamax, I really love. I think it's great. Do I think it's perfect? No. But in terms of like having a gimmick, I think Dynamax is personally by far the best we've ever had. It only lasts for 3 turns. So many different move options with added buffs and abilities and damage. You get extra HP. There's just
that stuff. Cool. That stuff in VGC is like the tactical side of it in VGC is a lot better than in singles. I would say for sure.
Yes, definitely. I'm talking specifically for a VGC, not for the 3v3 ladder.
Yeah.
For the VGC ladder, I am in love with Dynamax. I think it's a great format. When we play scrims, offline in the PMC crew, we do like 6v6. A lot of times we play in a 6v6 singles Dynamax format.
Yeah.
So we really love it. I personally, Justin, love Dynamax. I think it's a 9 out of 10. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I'm really happy that Series 11's coming back to it, because at least it lets me use, or it lets me feel like I can use the Pokemon I want to, way that I want to use them.
Yeah. I'll kind of echo a lot of your sentiments about it's going to be fun. It'll be cool to see like lesser use, like Tornadus Incarnate like completely fell off. No, not Tornadus. I'm sorry. Thunderous Incarnate really fell off. But now, you'll get the Defiant, and you'll be able to like Dynamax up. So he'll see a little bit of a resurgence.
You're going to see the Defiant. You're going to see the Prankster Eerie Impulse again. It's going to be, definitely.
And then another thing is, the one thing I don't love about it is I felt like there was so much Dynamax plus weakness policy fat legendaries. Remember me complaining about that? That's the one thing I'm not looking forward to with that. Like trying to stop the Necrozma and Solgaleo weakness policy teams is going to be so hard. The Dialga.
I definitely agree completely. I don't want to. Spot on.
Yeah.
The only thing that's different now is because we have Unite.
Yeah.
So before, in terms of like, I'm sort of whatever about Series 8 today or this week. I'm sick of dealing with Zacian or Kyogre, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Let's go play something else.
Yeah.
Now we have Unite, you know what I mean? And not only that, it's a big content source for people like us. So if we want to make content and it's just, today's just a bad day, man. We're getting steamrolled.
Yeah, getting smoked.
Let's turn on Unite for an hour and see if we can get something there.
Yeah.
So for people like us trying to make content, it's cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at it from a glass half full because I'm coming off of a 3-month stint where I didn't play any VGC, and I'm just happy to play VGC.
Yeah, no, I like that. Like I respect and I appreciate that approach. Like I'm trying to do that too because I remember I didn't love Series 8 before, but I've missed making VGC content for the channel too. And
I've missed playing VGC. I miss getting on Sword and Shield. We haven't been playing Sword and Shield. We've been doing a lot of like scrims and stuff. You and I have been playing a little bit. We have like a homebrew meta where we just do like a 3v3 random mono, and it's so fun.
Yeah. We'll have to do that on the channel. We'll have to do that on the channel soon. Random mono 3v3s. Yeah.
We have a lot of fun because we've been playing Pokemon our whole lives. So we have a lot of like house rules.
Yeah.
For certain like kind of homemade game modes that we play with each other. You, Doug, Mike, David, etc. All of us in the PMC.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love the way you put that. The glass half full approach because we don't want to be negative on this channel. That's not really what we want to do. We don't like to go on here and complain and whine. We like to we love to bring a positive attitude, you know?
We want to be honest. If we like something, we're going to call out and say, I like it.
Yeah.
But if we don't like something, we're also going to be, we're not going to be toxic.
Yeah, we're not going to be toxic. Yeah, but
that we don't like that flavor.
Yeah, we're not gonna slam things, but we're gonna just keep it honest.
We're never going to lie to you.
Yeah. So never. I'm sorry. Tripping on my words here. So let's move on to the next thing. And this is something that both of us have been like biting our tongues on for the last 15 minutes. What formats could they have used in place of like what gimmicks, what formats, what could they have done instead of regurgitating a series? I want to hear from you. I've got a couple. I
already alluded to it. This has been my big push. Basically, since we got into VGC, I've been bugging all my buddies about it, like off camera. I've been saying this since day one. Mythicals.
Yes.
Give me, like, especially when you have a lot of mythicals that are straight up built for VGC, like Magearna and Zarude, and you have things like Gigantamax Melmetal that exists, but we can't use it in any format ever.
Yes.
So we wrote a team for Series 9 that was using Electivire and Motor Drive, Discharge. One of the ideas that we had for that team was Zeraora. He gets Volt Absorb, so he can fit in that team and absorb some discharges back and forth. He can also give off discharge. He has a lot of good support moves.
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't. I'm not going to give away the tech in case it ever
comes to light.
But he does get coaching, which pairs really well with the physical Electivire that we would already be running. So he could discharge and coaching the Electivire. So yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff that. Obviously, I'm a Hoenn rep. I want to be able to use Jirachi.
Yeah. No, yeah, so I agree. I agree.
Jirachi would be amazing in VGC. Think about when you see a Jirachi hit the field. Very few pokes, in my experience, in singles over the past 20 years, very few pokes scare me the way Jirachi does because she can literally do any set. It could be a full tank, or it could be straight up, I'm going to blow 3 pokes in a turn, or in a row. even come close to killing me.
Dude, Dynamax, weakness policy, Jirachi. That would be sick.
That'd
Firing off stab steel spikes. That would be cool, dude.
Firing off stab steel spikes, and then when she gets down, she still has Serene Grace Iron Heads for flinches with a bunch of defense. Yeah! Self Dynamaxing and setting up your own psychic terrain with a Zen Headbutt.
Yeah.
Which is now
Mindstorm.
Mindstorm, like, yeah.
Yeah, and I would love to see Trick Room Melmetal. Like, I want to use Trick Room I want to flinch my opponents down with...
I want to use Gigantamax Melmetal.
Yeah.
Which goes into our conversation earlier about why we as channel love and sort of stand so hard for
Dynamax
as a gimmick, so to speak, is because anyone can benefit from it. First of all, that's the big difference between like megas, because they chose who were the have and have nots.
Yes.
Anybody, relatively speaking, can potentially be a have in a Dynamax format because anyone can Dynamax.
Remember the way that Durant owned Series 2 because of Dynamax?
Insane. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, so that's just, but then there's the next layer. So everybody gets it, where Mega's not everybody did.
Yeah.
But then they also have that unique thing like Megas where they went and picked and choose the G-Max.
Yep.
And G-Max, maybe you don't love every single aesthetic of a G-Max form.
Yeah, they're not all great.
Maybe you don't love every single move. Maybe you'd rather have Steel Spike, for instance, over your, you know what I mean? Maybe it's detrimental for like a Dreadnought with Swift Swim to all of a sudden not be able to turn on his rain.
Yeah, and like Dynamax, what's his name? Duraludon? Like Gigantamax Duraludon is like so much worse than a regular Dynamax Duraludon. And he looks really dumb.
And he looks dumb. So yeah, there's just, but then on the flip side, you don't have to G-Max. You can just D-Max.
Yeah. Yep.
So personally, that's kind of we're going back to the mythicals now with the G-Max Melmetal, but I just wanted to point out like the Gigantamax part of Dynamax is just another kind of pro in the pros as cons.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so you want to hear my format suggestions?
I want to know what's your number. So if I was to rub the lamp, I want mythicals. So basically it'd be you take what we have now for Series 10 or Series 11, respectively, because I want like Gigantamax and Dynamax turned on. But so instead of like these Ubers, get those out of there, but add in Volcanion or Marshadow or whatever.
Yep.
Let me use my mythicals.
Yep.
That's what I would like. So what do you want? What's your number one out of everything?
Well,
we haven't even talked about this off air. You kept it a secret from me.
You know, it's kind of funny. I have ways that I think it would be. I guess if you wanted to rub if I could rub the magic lamp. So I've got three different things. I got three different things, and I won't dive too far into all of them. Okay, so actually, okay, let me start with the one that I think would be the best. Keep the Ubers. Don't let them Dynamax. Let everyone else Dynamax to even the playing field so that you're...
no Dynamax Kyogre, no Dynamax Dialga.
No Dynamax Necrozma, no Dynamax Solgaleo, none of that.
That's cool. That's
like I don't mind legendaries. But
if you play a format knowing that somebody's bringing like a Geomancy Deer, but the Geomancy Deer can't Dynamax for more HP and more damage and terrain control, then you know going into the game, it's like when you fight a Zacian, you know that that's not their D-Max option because you can't.
Yep.
That's a cool tactical advantage, but it's balanced because everybody has the same advantage.
Yeah, so, you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden you can Dynamax your Garchomp, let's say, and close the gap on a Pokemon like Zacian. You probably live the play rough. You take a bunch of damage, but you know you're one-hit KOing him in return. You know what I mean? So it evens the playing field.
Yeah, you're going to quake him off the earth.
Yeah, and that makes it sound like the legendaries are less powerful.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, you got your partner on the other side. You could, you know what I mean? And you've got access to protect and things like that. But yeah, if I could rub a magic lamp, that's what I would do. That's what I would like to see.
I think that sounds really fun. I would love to play that meta.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other two things I had, one of them was really quick. I'll say, they could have done some sort of ban list again. I don't love
What
that.
was that, Series 6?
Yeah, that was Series 6. I don't love the ban list. It did freshen things up.
It did. It did.
But that changes the meta so drastically for 3 months. Like, it's almost...
It's a double-edged sword.
Yes.
You're spot on. I do... Now, we've already talked about the channel. We weren't necessarily in love with Series 6. We much prefer 7 and 9 when everything is just no Ubers, no mythicals, just all standard pokes.
Yeah.
So to speak. And that meta is really fun.
Yeah, it is.
But going into Series 6, the part of me liked it and part of me didn't, because Rillaboom is obviously he's my main man in 8th gen. He's my number one favorite Pokemon in 8th gen. He's the grass starter. I'm the grass leader. You know this already.
Yeah.
He is the drummer. Brandon, move aside. No. Literally. See, like, there you go. So we obviously love Rillaboom here.
Yeah.
And to see him go away was it hurt my heart. But from a tactical perspective, set my or Brandon's emotions aside, of not being able to use the boomer, that big old chunky gorilla, he's so good.
Yep.
Check out our 3v3 vid from last week. He slaps.
Yeah, he does.
So good. Not being able to use him hurt my heart, but my tactical side was really intrigued because it cut off the top most used pokes, which means it opened up a whole new meta of everybody else to be able to fill that void, and people were really experimenting with some cool stuff.
Remember how strong Primarina was in that format?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's when I fell in love with. I personally, from an aesthetic, a design, and a lore, and everything perspective, I hate Primarina. Personal preference. I might love chocolate, and you hate chocolate. Ice cream. You want vanilla versus my chocolate ice cream, but we're both eating ice cream.
Yeah, so we all win.
I hate Primarina. I think she's personally the single worst design starter in Pokemon history.
Strong words.
Yeah.
Strong words.
100%. She's my least favorite by far.
Mm-hmm.
But from a competitive standpoint, she's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah,
and I run her all the time. You've seen me run her in Series 7 and Series 9 on both of my sand teams to incredible effect.
Yeah.
So from a tactical standpoint, she's great. And then what made me fall in love with her, like Brandon said, was Series 6. I never even thought about her until the meta shifted. Then I realized how good she was. I'm like, when the meta shifted back, I was like, I'm still going to use her because she's really strong.
Hard Trick Room was good then, too. That's the team I ran. I had Primarina, Escavalier, Rolla Marowak, and I did Hard Trick Room. That was a good team.
I remember that.
Yep.
And that was when Series 6 is when I started jumping into the Gudra.
Yeah. So that's one of my suggestions.
I do like we'll bring it around. So we're talking about ban lists. I do like the idea of a ban list, whether it's the top most used pokes go out or whether somebody actually goes in and hand pick switch to ban.
Yeah. I
like the idea of a ban list because, again, it's only for 3 months.
Yeah. So that was one of my suggestions. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It would have been more creative than regurgitating Series 8. And the other one I had was
agreed.
Add another legendary. Allow us to bring 2 restricteds, Dynamax or no Dynamax. Either way, I don't care. Because I think having another legendary on the field would create a balance in itself. So teams aren't so centered around one Pokemon, and the building becomes a little different. Because remember the Ultra Series from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon? That's what the format was 2 Megas. So, or not Megas.
Two restricteds.
2 restricteds. I don't know if that allows.
And we haven't had that yet.
No, we haven't.
We've had the very first time ever that they only allowed 1 Uber in Series 8. Now they're doing it again with Series 11. I totally agree. I think you're spot on. That would be so different compared to what we've seen for Series 8 10 a little bit, or what will be 11 respectively,
Yeah.
because not like that one. The way that I put it in our notes discussion was, there's not that like final boss feeling of like, oh, how do I deal with the Kyogre?
Yeah,
Well,
well,
you know what I mean? You know, I have where on my team now I have a Zacian and a Kyogre of my own, or maybe I have a Zacian and a, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like being able to bring two out of four Ubers drastically changes the balance and the scope and the overall approach to the meta. It changes everything.
I also think it allows for like lesser used restricteds to get some time to shine. Like we had mentioned Giratina. You know, like maybe Giratina fits a spot on your team. Maybe your team's pretty weak to Kyogre. You could, you know, maybe you bring Zekrom in that situation, or you bring Kyurem Black or something in that situation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, shout out to the PMC crew right there. We love that big electric dragon.
Yeah, we're gonna try this series, dude. Series 11. We're gonna try to run both Kyurem forms again.
Oh no, we definitely are. We already have the teams ready to go. We have the shiny forms of both, which is just amazing for me because my favorite color is green. And when Zekrom joins up with Kyurem Black, all of his glowy lightning turns like green, acid green. Just
beautiful.
So good.
All right, so
good.
Yeah, so Justin, we've only got a few minutes left, and we got to wrap this up. The last thing I want to talk about, and we won't talk about this a whole lot. We're on the same page.
But this is the most exciting part.
This is our predictions for Series 12, and I know we are on the same page when it comes to these. Justin, what's your prediction for Series 12?
My main man, my monkey.
Just the monkey meta? It's literally just the monkey meta?
That's all it is. I'm going to bring Ambipom.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going with my nickname. See, when I say Pickles, that's Meganium.
Yeah, yeah.
We have nicknames that we just don't even call them their Pokemon names anymore. But
yeah.
I'm going to go an Ambipom and an Infernape. My monkeys are coming out. Obviously, we're alluding to, jokes aside, I do believe that this, if you track November 1st, so November, December, January, 3 months has been going around all these series since 8th Gen started. Excuse me. So if you keep tracking that pattern, which we have no reason not to believe that they would change it up right now, means that February 1st, Series 12.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, what comes out at the end of January, beginning of February?
Pokemon Home compatibility with Pokemon Diamond and Pearl and Pokemon Legends Arceus, my good friend.
That's our prediction.
Yep.
It's a pretty low-hanging fruit. I don't think it's really a prediction. I think it's pretty much set in stone that Series 12 is the PMC stamp. Series 12 is good. I hope no restrictions.
Same, me too. No legendaries.
I hope Dynamax turned on.
Yes.
But for sure, it's going to be whatever this term looks like. We hope that it's all-inclusive.
Yes.
With what's left. We've already talked about this, but it's going to be the National Pokedex for Series 12, and I cannot be more excited.
I am hoping really hard for a Series 7/9 format with all of these new Pokemon added. That's my dream. If that happens,
correct, spot on.
If that happens, I'm not playing anything but VGC for 3 months. Nothing.
Yeah, like we are going to be going crazy with VGC content if that's the case.
Yeah.
Because not only, with Unite and Arceus, so many hype things going on.
Yeah.
But if they give us a national dex, again, when we say national dex, we hope that when home hits, end of January, beginning of February with these compatibility, every national dex hole that's missing will be filled.
Yep, that's the hope.
So, we'll be able to use Meganium.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be able to use
Gliscor.
I have Oh, there you go. There's yours, Gliscor. Being able to use Brandon's Gliscor again would be insane, and I think Gliscor could be really great in a Dynamax doubles format.
Yep.
Like he gets airstreams built in. Like super good.
Yeah. So, dude, this was good conversation. I'm really glad. I really enjoyed doing this topic, and I hope that you guys listening or watching at home enjoyed it too. Hopefully, you guys leave some comments on your thoughts on the future of VGC. Let us know what you think about Series 11, good or bad, and yeah, just leave a comment, interact with us. We'd love to talk to you.
Let us know what you think. We want to know how do you feel about the recycling / regurgitating of formats? How do you feel about we want to pose this question that we kind of asked each other.
Yeah.
Your answer can be the same as ours. That's totally fine. But I want to ask you to leave a comment down below. If you had a magic wish and you could have whatever format for Series 11 instead of what we're getting, what would you have rather seen?
Yeah, excellent question.
You don't even have to be salty about Series 11, but just as a fun thought experiment, what other formats could they use that they haven't done yet?
Yeah. Excellent. So, dude, it was a great podcast. Had a good time talking to you. I'm going to go get ready to go on my anniversary trip.
Happy anniversary to you and the missus.
Thank you.
We'll catch you Monday night, bright and early. We'll get on and we're going to try to do some Sora.
Yeah.
Really excited for that.
All right. Well, until next time, guys, I've been Zero.
I'm Gym Leader Justin.
Class is dismissed.